Hey, what's up, everybody? Little bit different setup this time. Not going live. I'm actually just here in the basement, going to, talk about stuff. You see these awesome prints in front of me. Look at this Joker by Vedran. So cool. We're not here talking about awesome prints. We're going to talk about something that the community itself has had a lot of discussion about. There's been disagreements. There's been arguments. There's been words said. In the long run, most of us that are watching this channel and know me, I rock these Prusa Mark IIIs back here. There's a 2.5 back here as well somewhere. 2.5 is somewhere. I think it's over here. The probably the unicorn, the rare thing about Prusa or from Prusa are those textured bed sheets. Everybody, when Prusa announced the Mark III, there was a lot of cool features: laser filament sensor and crash detection, and new board named after Einstein, and silent stepping, and a textured bed sheet. Unfortunately, that's also been the kind of downfall of Prusa. They make an amazing product. The Mark III is an awesome printer, regardless of some of the features that don't really work to their optimal level. It's been over a year since the Mark III shipped. My first Mark III, which is this blue one, was my very first one. It's been through heck and back. It's printed awesome. A lot of these prints are from my Mark IIIs. This Deadpool is pretty ridiculous. The print quality on these printers is amazing, and it hasn't always been like that. There's always been a hiccup. There's always been that one thing that you can always find wrong, and you can find that with any printer. I've had Creality printers, I've had monoprice printers. I have an Anycubic printer. Well, I have one too. I have a Photon, but I have one down here that I bought, a little Delta printer. But the thing about Prusa is they're I'm ad-libbing all of this. Didn't write anything down, so work with me here. But they promise a lot, and they deliver a lot, but they also don't deliver on things. And this has gotten the community kind of separated into two camps. Maybe three camps, but the two main camps are the ones who they are blissful. They love their printer. They print things like you see before me. They love it. It does what it's supposed to do nearly every time. If they have any issues, they're usually small ones. And then there's the people, the other side of the camp, who have had issues, or the issues have become a bigger part of the story for them, where the Mark III is kind of this, it's got this little asterisk next to it. Awesome printer, asterisk. And understandable. They were promises, and one of those major promises that still gets people is this textured bed sheet. This guy right here. This is my textured bed sheet. As you can see, it's well used. Both sides are pretty well used. But why is it such a hot topic? If you haven't followed Prusa, they launched this printer, the Mark III, in December 2017. And now it's January 2019. And we still are not getting these sheets. Some of us have been lucky. Some of us waited, and they got their sheets. Some people didn't wait. They still got their sheets. Some people, again, majority of the people are waiting for sheets. And there's an issue. They've been fairly upfront. As soon as they knew they had issues with this, they let everybody know, like, hey, you have an option when you order this printer. You can either get this sheet and wait for a very long time, or get the smooth PEI sheet. So this is their stock smooth PEI sheet. And they still haven't been able to bring that textured sheet to the masses. And there's also camps in that. There's the people who are just gonna say, well, who cares? You got, a free one of these. Prusa sent vouchers to people saying, hey, eventually, if you want this, you can have this when they're ready. If you don't, we'll send you one of these for basically shipping. Or they'll send you like a $20 or $30 store coupon or something like that, or a roll of Prusa mint. They've tried to basically make up for the fact that this isn't in your hands. This fancy piece of metal that's textured and plated, and I mean, your prints look awesome from the bottom of that. I think, which one of these? Yeah, you can kind of see it on the bottom of this one. This was done on the knockoff one, but it's got that nice texture on it. So your prints get that nice textured look, and people really, really want this sheet. And there's a discussion on the Prusa community forums, which I'm one of the admins from, and also constantly post there, constantly trying to keep promoting the good things and helping people with the issues that they do have, as long as they're willing to work on the issues. And this is one of the issues you can't fix. This is one of the issues that, you know, I've talked to Josef, I've talked to Prusa support, I've talked to whoever I can talk to, and literally the same thing happens. Basically, the people who they have hired to make these things cannot make these things to the quality Prusa wants and to the quantity Prusa wants. And it's looking more and more like this will never happen. This will never be, you'll never just be able to go online and order this sheet. Now, mind you, you can go on Amazon and you can order this sheet, which is the king with many E's in it. Textured PEI sheet, which mine has some chips, huge chunks taken out of it. They did replace it for free, so. But, you know, this thing is thinner. It works. Doesn't work as well in PTG, but, I mean, there's a knockoff. I mean, there isn't anybody else making knockoffs of these. There's one person making knockoffs of these. And these have major issues. I'm not really going to talk too much about that sheet, but people want the sheet. And I understand, and I want Prusa to get these sheets. Prusa wants to get these sheets, but I think it's come to the point where Prusa needs to stand up and stop promising this sheet. And that's the point of this video. The point of this video is I want to reach out to not only the community, but to Prusa. I want to specifically talk to you, Prusa, and say, stop promising the sheet. Just tell everyone who couldn't get one of these that they're getting one of these, or that they're going to get one of these, or they can get a roll of Prusa mint, or they can, you know, $20 coupon, whatever. Get everybody happy as they can be. And the reasoning behind this is I don't think that this is going to happen anytime soon. I could be wrong. Literally, when I post this video, they can be an announcement like, we can make 40,000 of these a day, and they'll be shipping out to everybody. But in the reality of things, Prusa, these things aren't coming out, and it's divided the community to the point where people are bitter, and they're understandably so, because they were promised something, and every time they're told maybe this month, it's then next month. And when it's next month, it's not that month, it's next month again. And it's kind of the running inside joke, trademark. Prusa promises a date on things or promises a product, and it ends up being almost vaporware. I mean, they come out. These sheets are in the wild. There's thousands of them. And that's the tough part. You've been able to fulfill for the few. And the few that have gotten them have either been happy about it. And again, there's also going to be people who aren't happy with it because they're like, it's not what they expected. Or it doesn't work as well as just a regular PEI sheet. For me, my personal opinion, I want this sheet to come out. I want everyone to have this sheet. I want people who don't even own a Prusa to have a textured PEI sheet, because this has been the best sheet I've ever printed stuff on. Bar none. PETG self-releases when it's cool. You don't need any magic goo. You don't need any glue stick for your basic materials. ABS, PLA, PETG, your three main materials, don't need anything, and it works. It works better than anything else on the market, hands down. But you can't give us this. at least not to the quantity where we want. So here's what I'm asking. Josef, Prusa, team, uh, reach out to your customers. Reach out to people like me who buy a bunch of printers, people who aren't like me who buy one printer, people like me who have 40 of these printers, and let them know that you're sorry that this thing isn't going to be on every, isn't going to be available for online soon. Don't stop trying to make this. Release this thing when you have it in quantity. Release this thing when you can promise that it'll ship immediately to people. So take the next 6 months and work on whatever you need to work on to fix this. Build that bridge with the community again. Get them to understand where you're coming from, because I know things that a lot of people don't know, because I bug Josef, I bug other people at Prusa, so I know that they've gone through headaches. They get these things, they'll get 5,000 in, and they literally have to scrap over 50% of these things. So I know they've lost money making this thing and getting it to people. But in the long run, this thing, this magical unicorn in the printing industry, doesn't need to be that wall that separates the community and the company. It should be kind of like the bridge between the two, where we love the product that you make and we're going to talk about it, but we're at the point where we're no longer talking about how awesome the product is. We're talking about how not awesome it is to not have the thing that was promised a year ago. So just a heartfelt from me, from the community, to everyone at Prusa. Some of us are mad, but most of us aren't mad at you for this. What we'd like is just that transparency, the apology, the a word that says, hey, you know what, we can't get these to you. Take all the time you need to eventually get this. Work on the production, work on whatever you need to work on, perfect how to make these things, because these things are awesome. I've tested the fake one. I have your black one. I have your gold one. I've got this thingy from Philiprint. I think it's Philiprint. I've got the thing from that one guy. I can't remember what it's called. I've got BuildTech PEI. I've got BuildTech. I've tried all of these surfaces, and you can tell which one I've used the most. It's definitely the regular PEI. This side is worn pretty well from just use and scrapes and chunks and whatever. And even my has a little bit of tarnishing on it from being used all the time. But understand that we don't care as much about this as we care about the promise. This is a nice thing, but to be able to reach out to all of us and be like, hey, here's just, one of these, if you'd like one of these instead. Because one of these works awesome. 2 of my printers are running just regular PEI, and it's a fabulous material. Your new ones that are coated so they don't rust are amazing. That's why these things are a little darker shade than these gold ones, because this was just pure, whatever that steel is that's bendable, spring steel. This one is spring steel that's coated, and it has a little thicker PEI. It's very nice, and I know you guys use pure Ultim. This is really nice PEI. This works for everybody. Well, not everybody, but 99% of the people who use this, it works great. So that's my point. I don't want to talk too much more about it. It's just, I love this sheet, and I want everyone to be able to try this textured PEI. But what I don't want is this textured PEI sheet to be the reason people have arguments online. To have weekly, people are coming on the forum, and this is just one Facebook group. It's weekly. Someone goes, when is this coming out? When can I order this? I bought mine in December, and I don't have one of these. I wish I could get these to people myself, but we need to come to the realization that the community needs reassurance that they're going to get something. And I think right now, your best bet is to get them something and work on this in the background. Release it with a Mark IV. You know, you can always go backwards and work on development, make this thing even better. And then, you know, a year down the line, release these things. And if you want to, give them $5 off later. I mean, you know, raise the price on it so you can get, so you can put more money into developing it. Something. Whatever you need to do to make this sheet a reality, do it. But don't make this sheet come between the community and the awesome company Prusa is. Because you guys are awesome. You make a great product. Your service is amazing. You continue to make awesome things like the new slicer. The Alpha 3 is crazy good. You keep developing on that. Your firmware is always going to get better. But you also need to make sure that the community that started and supported you stays supportive. And this thing is stopping them from being as supportive as they can be, including myself. I mean, I have one. I mean, I wish all of my printers had one. And that's kind of where I'm at, where it's like, man, I know how good this thing is. And I know that other people could see how awesome this thing is when people show off the textured thing and the popping off and the twisty bendy. And it's an amazing thing, but we know it's not coming out next week or a week after, or every time someone asks on the support, like, hey, where's my textured sheet? And they have to hear, oh, we had more issues. It's going to be next month. No more next month. Just move forward. Send some people some awesome coupons. Give people PEI sheets if they want. Or if people just don't want it anymore, let them just check a box and be like, don't even care. Moving on. Whatever it takes. You know, and I know you guys can hear me. I mean, I yell at you guys as much as I can. That's from love. That's from love. That's love yelling. And this is also from love. Like, I really enjoy printing, and I really enjoy the community, but I don't enjoy when the community and the company can't get along. And this is the one thing that I feel continues to keep the community from truly accepting the company, Prusa, and keeping the best interest of the people that support you guys. So, you know, do what you got to do. I mean, you don't have to listen to me. That's fine. But I hope this video doesn't go completely unnoticed by Prusa and the community, because Prusa has an amazing community. The people in the forums are awesome, and they're always doing amazing things. But this thing right here, this right here is kind of the ghost, the thing that floats in the background. And it's time to just put it to pasture for now. Put it aside, like I'm going to. Get back to everybody. Get them something else. And then from this day forward, continue working on this. This thing needs to come out. This needs to be a product on the market. It needs to be a product for more than just Prusa printers. You know, this knockoff isn't it. It's super close. But it has, I guess, the same issues you guys are experiencing with this, where these are poopy too, and you guys aren't trying to sell the poopy ones, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So Josef, Team Prusa, community, that's all I have to say. Continue printing your awesome prints. I mean, look, this is what the printer does without a textured sheet. I mean, it's shiny underneath there. Just shiny, you know? And it prints awesome prints. I mean, these prints are ridiculously amazing. But again, we don't need the textured sheet right now. What we need is you guys and us guys and all the ladies and everybody else in between to get together and start printing and stop caring so much about a piece of metal with a fancy texture on it that prints really well on. But we need to get back to printing. And you guys need to get back to making these sheets and not worrying about us bugging you every week, because I'm guessing support. I'm guessing Shane gets about a message a day going, "Where's my texture sheet?" Let's no longer bug Shane about textured sheets. Let's move past that. You guys have other things you need to work on. I know there's going to be another printer coming out at some point. I know there's other cool things that are going to come out and you want to do them. You don't need that slowing you down. Push that aside. So I hope that helps. I hope the community and everybody understands where this is coming from. I'm not trying to bash anybody. I think everyone's trying to do the best they can. I believe everyone's just trying to, either vent their frustrations or, at least talk about it, because they have no one else to talk to. When people have nobody to talk to about it, it just builds up, I understand. So I hope this reaches the community in a positive way where we can all get together and, do something and make it awesome. So that's all. So you guys everyone have a fantastic week. What is it, Thursday right now? It is Thursday. It's really cold here in the Midwest. I'm going to go relax and go back to printing. I have things to print. So thank you all for listening. I hope you stayed to the end. Put your comments in there. Let me know. Hop over the Prusa community, Facebook page. Let me know. Post on Twitter. Tag, Prusa. Let them know that we have their back. We don't need that thing. We don't need it. We just need to move forward. And thank you to those Facebook members that let me understand that the frustrations are real. So have a great one, and I'll talk to you soon.